Welcome to your local program, BelAhdan, the show that brings you home security to your living room. You know, post 9/11, a lot of talks about the Patriot Act and home security, our liberty and our security. And this debate is really missing the point for all Muslim and Arab Americans. Statistics show us they've been highly picked on and racial profiled and everywhere, hate crimes. And we're not going to go into the statistic. We're going to go to recent events that happened here in our midst of the Twin Cities. A few incidents that happened at Minneapolis Airport, International Airport, where people are coming from abroad, from their country, visiting their loved one, and the first thing they meet is racial profiling. And just I have a friend that just came back from Tunisia like a week ago, and I don't care what the research or procedures are at airport. I know they do well and they try to keep us all safe. And they take us our shoes, our coats, our belt, everything, they take everything away from us. But when somebody at the airport asks you, once he knows you're coming from an Arab country or a Muslim country, did you visit the mosque? That really triggers some issue for her. And I don't know what the procedures are about this investigation. We conducted the airport about this new procedure. I've never heard of such things. I've heard a lot of stupid things like they ask you, do you have a lib, like seeds coming. Now they even speak in Arabic. Do you have any lib? Arabic now becoming the official language of our airport security. Do you have any lib? Half English and half Arabic. Lib means, like seed or sunflower seeds, what have you. But anyway, let's look into this. Did you visit a mosque? I don't know what the information that you get out of this. And this is made or designed to provoke those who are coming and see how they react. We contacted the airport. They declined to be on our show. And they sent us a statement. You can see it here on, the screen here. And basically they were saying that, they call them now behavior detection officers. Behavior detection officer. And that's another gentle definition of racial profiling and how you do a behavior. You pick up on people, certain people, you engage, as they say, the officer engages in conversation on a range of topics, but TCE does not, however, profile. And this is from David Castleverter, Director of External Communication. I'm afraid about the internal communication. So we went to the only place we can resort to in these days. We work to our Civil Liberty Union here, where people are watching this stuff and looking into it and defending those who are falling through our legal crack. And then the executive director, Charles Samuelson, who was kind enough to come here, and we would like to welcome you, Chuck, Chuck or Charlie, where do you want to go?
Well, you can call me Chuck.
Chuck is very good, very nice. I can say that without any losing a tooth or something.
There you go.
But this is new. I've never heard of something called behavior detective officer. Is the FBI becoming now the facial behavior investigation or what? What does that mean?
I have no idea.
Really?
No, I think.
From a legal perspective, you have no idea.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I think you're probably right that it's a gentle definition of racial profiling.
And tell us a little bit about, I've always American civil liberty, and we have a legal system, we have constitution, we have all this to protect, we have due process. Why do we have to have your organization? Why do we have the need for it? If our systems is presumably protecting everybody.
Well, yeah, of course, every system in every country is presumably designed to protect everybody.
Yes.
But the ACLU was founded in 1920, primarily on immigration issues, actually, and police overreach back in the 1920s, and it's been running ever since. So racial profiling and racial targeting has been a huge issue of the ACLU. Fundamentally, we defend the civil liberties of people, and the civil liberties are embodied in our Constitution and our Bill of Rights. And those, particularly the Bill of Rights, restrict what government can do and protect the rights of individuals. Now, it's in the Constitution, as you say. We have a legal community, a robust legal system, as you pointed out. Why do you need the ACLU? Well, you need somebody to make sure that
it is robust.
that the government actually does what the government is supposed to do, so that as I say to my Democratic friends now, say, well, why are you suing Obama? Well, because he's the president. Mm-hmm. And well, why are you suing him? Because he's violating the Constitution, like all presidents do. Mm-hmm. So when George Bush was in office, we sued him, and now that Obama's in office, we'll sue him, and I don't care who succeeds him, we will sue them too.
I mean, he cannot be sued through our legal system, like
yes, he can.
A prosecutor of some sort of
well,
state?
We have a legal system that I think people need to understand. You have a criminal system and a civil system. The differences are actually pretty great, but fundamentally, in the criminal system, the defendant has his liberty at risk, so you can go to jail. Mm-hmm. If your liberty is not at risk, even if they're going to take millions of dollars from you, that's a civil one. The O.J. Simpson case is a classic case of criminal versus civil. In the criminal case, they couldn't convict him because the jury felt there wasn't beyond a reasonable doubt. Yeah. But on the civil side, they convicted him, but he didn't go to jail. He just lost all of his assets. That's a big penalty, but also it's easier to prove on the civil side. So you have to understand that we have two systems.
So what area you work on most?
We mostly work on civil litigation. So for example, let us say that your friend got stopped at the TSA people. They asked him if he was in a mosque, had visited a mosque, and he said yes, he had, and he got angry with them and argued with them, and they then put him in jail, okay? Mm-hmm. And then there would be a criminal trial.
They put him in jail because he's angry, or violation.
I don't know, he hit a TSA guy or something, was provoked by a TSA guy. So I don't know that we would take the case, but so then let's say he gets convicted, then we would take the case and say, this guy asked an impermissible question that caused the fight. He's the one who should have been arrested, the TSA agent, because he engaged.
He has the right to do that.
Not
if
only
you are
does
an individual.
Well, yes, they have the right to ask whatever they want.
No, I mean, if I see a violation from a TSA officer, and he obviously violated my rights, my civil rights, can I arrest him?
No. Only police can arrest people, and only prosecutor. That's criminal. Okay. Only police can do the criminal arrest. Actually, you can do a citizen's arrest.
Yeah, that's.
No, basically,
don't go there.
Don't go there. That's right.
Especially if you are an Arab, don't go there.
Don't go there if you're an Arab. Don't go there if you're black. Don't go there if you're Mexican. Yeah. Don't go there if you're a young male of any race. Just don't go there.
Don't go to the airport.
No, go to the airport, but understand that you can't solve that problem right there. You have to take it to the civil courts and have the civil courts assess a penalty on the officer.
And if it went to the criminal court, how would it work?
In the criminal court, the charge would have to be filed by the county attorney or the attorney general of the state or the federal attorney, depending. And then they would prosecute the person under the criminal charges.
I don't want to come across here that we don't want security at the airport. We love security. We want everybody to be safe. But there is a lot of incidents where some Arabs were pulled out of the airplane because they had a T-shirt that has an Arabic now. When I came a few years back from the airport, from Egypt, and I was stopped almost 2 hours, hour and a half, because I have my nose. I was doing I'm doing a story there, TV. And I was with NewsHour, like national public television.
Yes.
But I came along by myself. And I had notes in Arabic, because you take notes and you interview people, and it was in Arabic. And the officer looked at this is 2010, before, and he looked at it as if it's like Al-Qaeda's manual. He was terrified by it.
Yeah, well, okay.
And he called people, and people came and investigate, and they kept it for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Because, so my question is, what kind of training those people get? The officer.
I don't know what kind of training they get. I don't know how much money they make. I do know that.
But they make very vital decisions.
Yeah, well, yes, for individuals.
Detection of the actual terrorists or the actual.
Exactly, and they are charged with protecting air flight. Now, Al-Qaeda went after the World Trade Center more than once. I mean,
this is the point.
White people need to remember that.
Exactly.
That when Clinton was president, they parked a truck bomb in the parking ramp and blew it up and killed dozens of people. And that they tried, Al-Qaeda also had some plan to get, I don't know, planes from the Philippines and fly them into the West Coast, and that got discovered. I mean, fundamentally, these are people who are dedicated, and I don't even consider them Muslims. This is Al-Qaeda. They're just dedicated to the destruction of the United States. And I'm not sure why, but I don't really,
Well, there's a lot of reason why.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Reaction to
yeah,
whatever.
but I'm just saying it is not,
it's not a hidden
no, but
facts.
Right, but Al-Qaeda is one thing, and all the Arabs or all the people from Muslim countries in the world, billions of them, is another thing. And somehow
I see what you mean,
we've
yeah.
forgotten we've forgotten that. And so what we think is all terrorists are Muslim. So all Muslims deserve heightened scrutiny because the Al-Qaeda terrorists are Muslim. The trouble is you've got Timothy McVeigh, and you've got these clowns in Boston, and they're American citizens, and Timothy McVeigh's an American citizen, and you've got a lot of
domestic.
Well, the guy, I mean, what's to say that guy in Connecticut wasn't a terrorist that shot that school up and killed all those people
exactly.
there? Or the guy who shot up in the movie theater, or the guy who shot in the mall, aren't they terrorists too?
This is the thing that worries me, that we are, spending billions of dollars trying to, heighten the fear in this country, and going after the wrong. I don't know if you read or seen the book, the Terror Factor for Mr. Harrison, where he went to there is 505 cases post 9/11, about terrorist cases. Yes. And he found that 85% of them are lured by informants.
Yes.
Are manufactured by the FBI.
Same as drug crimes with the DEA. That's been a problem with the FBI, with the federal investigative branches forever. And they plant somebody in against the war against the Vietnam movement was totally infiltrated by the FBI, and dozens of people got their convictions thrown out because it turned out that the person who had pushed for the violent act to take place, the blowing up of the records and building or the whatever, that the FBI informant was the one that brought the plan to them, convinced the group to do it, supplied everything for them to do it, led it, and then at the 11th hour stepped back and the FBI came in and arrested them. It was an FBI crime. It wasn't a crime of these groups.
So the FBI tried to preserve their system, or what is, did they outlive their purpose or their benefits?
No, I think...
Because I know in the beginning they were a purpose, to gather information. We have war, we have drugs war, and But now are they up to a par on the new technology with the new changes in the world?
Yeah, I don't know, but I think so. I think that the FBI, frankly, is got as do frankly all police officers and everyone who works for the government, has a very tough, difficult job, because you never get praised for doing a good job. You're not encouraged to do a great job. But if you do anything wrong, you are punished. You're smeared in the press, and everything you do now is considered political fodder. Look, for example, at the business with the federal, our current federal attorney, who's Todd Jones, who is being upped to take over alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. He's been nominated. He will not get confirmed. And it turns out that no ATF head has been confirmed since the Senate passed a bill saying that they had to be confirmed by the Senate. Not one.
And
because it's a political job. Because the alcohol, tobacco, and firearms is designed to go after guns and tobacco and bootleg alcohol and untaxed tobacco.
So they did a good job.
Well, they make mistakes, and when they do, then there's this huge hearing, and people get fired.
So
and,
our political system is not interested in bringing any of them on board, or what?
Well, the problem with our political system is not the rules, the constitutional rules. It's the way they operate. For example, in the Senate, to get anything done requires 60 votes. That's a supermajority. That isn't in the Constitution, by the way. Yeah. The Constitution says if there's 151 votes, you're the winner. Obama's health plan, Obama's health plan regularly got over 55 votes, but they couldn't get to 60, and that's because of the Senate's rules. They need to change a bunch of things in procedures, which is a risky way to do it, because if the Republicans are in charge, they want to.
Can all these abuses sustain and continue without public support? It seems like the majority of American people support all this violation and support all this. Measurement at the airport that is really sometimes is illogical, inefficient, and inept. That people will, take your shoes off, take your things off, put there's no liquid, do that, racial profiling. This is not an effective way of really catching a terrorist. But it seems like the Americans still support this, 75%. And not only that, and also our political system. You know Peter King, when he had this hearing about the radicalizing of Muslim American. I mean, it's a bizarre thing, and he still went ahead with the hearing.
Right.
And he still will be re-elected, and he is respected head of committee and all that.
Well, he's in the House. He's a Republican in the House, and he's been there a long time.
Yes.
So that means when the Republicans have the majority in the House, he gets to be a committee chair. And he's from Long Island.
Seniority issue.
He's got seniority, and he's in the right party right now, and he's right outside of New York City. So he gets a lot of the New York media. If he was a representative from Missouri, you wouldn't know about him.
Yeah.
I mean,
do your hearing, but no going to talk about it.
But he's not. He doesn't have a bully pulpit. Whereas in New York, particularly because of 9/11, he's got a bully pulpit. Americans have been. We've swallowed the pill that says if we give up our civil liberties to the government will protect us. And I think as long as Americans are willing to do that, we're going to have these issues, and we'll be fighting them on a case-by-case basis. I mean, we sued the DEA on a racial profiling case, and we won. But it took the resources of a major law firm, and it took years to win.
So what are the cases that really addresses the racial profiling that you've been handling recently?
Well, the biggest one is Brown versus the Board of Education. We've also done cases in Bemidji, which is where we have an office primarily focused on Native American issues. There's a church that the city wants to shut down and it's a Lutheran church of all things, in a Lutheran town, but they want to shut it down because they're silly enough to believe that their religious obligation includes feeding the hungry and housing the homeless, even if they're drunk. Because in the winter in Bemidji, it gets really, really
cold. You're still human if you're drunk.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, and that's
what a concept.
Yeah, isn't it? It's an amazing concept. So we've ended up intervening to get them to get the right. The right to remodel their church so they can meet the health codes to continue to do what they're doing.
For that?
Yeah, you do actually.
I thought only the mosque they have to fight for this.
Well, and we're trying to help that mosque in St. Anthony Park, or not St. Anthony, the city of St. Anthony Village. That's it. Well, they won't.
What's the issue there?
Well, a group of people bought a building. I think they're a mosque now, and they wanted to put. It currently is a building that has regular tenants, and they wanted to take a part of it, keep most of the regular tenants, and take a part of it and use it for a mosque, a community center, cultural center. Yeah, I want to think a daycare center too, but I can't remember. And in any case, the city bureaucrats said, "Fine, that's fine," but the city council said, "No, we can't do that." You need a variance.
In Plymouth and all that.
Yeah, exactly.
They want to buy a post office, and also the city went on, and the post office actually was going bankrupt. They couldn't afford the building, so some Muslim community bought the post office and turned it to community center, and they let the post office survive. So there is a, but anyway, that detective business, detective officer, what a name you come. It's actually was based on research by a guy called Ackman or something, and I think we're going to post on the screen here. And I know you're going to think this is all based on the assumption that when people in trouble, I mean, it's like lie detector. Or like when people are lying, not telling the truth, their facial, and you watch their, eyes and all that. And all the research that said the majority of these cases was false. And
Yes.
it did not really lead
That's
us
right.
to the real thing.
That's right.
So how you build the whole system is millions of dollars on resources.
Look,
on
it's
a
against the
false-
law. It's against the law to stop everybody who's Muslim and search them because they're Muslim. Okay, that would be racial
that's not
profiling.
what they're going to say. They're
Of course
gonna say
not.
because they behave suspiciously.
Of course, but they need to have something more than just their word. So there has to be something.
I see
They
what
got to have a thread of something. Well, it's scientifically proven. Well, no, it's not. It's the same thing. It's the same thing about gays. You know that prior to about 10 years ago, being homosexual was an insanity.
With the behaviorally suspicious.
Well, yeah,
Right
there you go. Clearly, but in all seriousness, maybe it was 20 years ago. The psychiatrists in their books said that homosexuality was a form of insanity.
Well, so I mean, that's the thing about. I don't know how our legal system is really lagging behind our culture, or vice versa. Culture are lagging behind our legal system. What drives what. But I know this is another show. I really appreciate you coming here, Chuck. Thank you so much. The executive director of ACLU, and he is the one who is looking after all these abuses out there. But before Liam, I know he was, played soccer here, and he also played soccer. We didn't have a chance to talk about soccer history here, but he played soccer in the United States. First played in soccer league in Germany, and for that, last week we covered the opening game for Minnesota United, the new face, and I had this 5-6 minutes talking to the coach and the players who enjoy it. We'll see you next week. Assalamu alaikum, and God bless you all. Minneapolis, where we have just finished the game, Minnesota United Football Club with Carolina Railhawk. And after the game, we're going to talk to some of the players here. Those are the players coming from all over the world: Brazil, Argentina, Malta, Bosnia, and all local here from Minnesota. So we'll be interested to see the game today. You guys, the first half was a little bit slow, and you picked up the second half. You picked up a couple of goals, and then the tie.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a tough one to swallow just because it looked like we were going to win the game, and they got a nice goal to tie it up. I feel like, I think the first half really hurt us.
The man who scored 2 goals in the game, the goals of the game, Etienne Barbara, you came all the way from Malta. Welcome to the game. That was a good game, and I mean, the first half was kind of slow, and you guys picked it up, and it seems like you are run away with it. What happened in the last 5 minutes?
As I said, the games before, the key for this team right now is getting together and getting to know each other more. So we kind of, as you said, had a slow start. We couldn't get the rhythm going.
So what do you think of soccer in America?
It's growing. Obviously, it's still. I mean, as I always say that America produces a lot of good athletes. So this team, I give a lot of credit to my teammates. They are super fit. They don't stop running up and down. They defend well. They tackle a lot. I mean, it's a strong league,
This is a Brazilian player coming from Brazil, and then tell us a little bit about, growing up in Brazil and playing Brazilian soccer and coming here and playing in American soccer. Tell us the different transition and adjustments you had to make.
Well, at first it was very hard to me. It was very hard for me just to adapt and play a different kind of soccer, because in Brazil we have it's not too much running and marking as we play here. We have more space, and I think here when you get the ball, there are like 2 or 3, 4, 5 guys, just waiting for the ball. So I think it's kind of, you need to think faster and you need to run more, and be aware that the guy's going to be very fit.
To look at it now from the tactical side, which is getting better, because I mean, soccer is not only showing athleticism, you need to play soccer. This is why there's a ball involved in the game. So who is the smartest with that ball probably ends up winning the game. You know, you see all the good teams, they play a lot of touches. It's not only running. So this is the league that I found here more than Europe. Obviously Europe it's still a physical league, but we play a lot of tactical soccer.
When I came here 5 years ago, I had to, you know, I struggled a lot, you know, got hit a lot and got fouled. So, but it's how you learn, you know, when you get beat and you stand up and you go forward. I think that has been very well for the team, and I think the team is going to the right path.
Well, obviously the team here has multinational player from all over the world. So how do you get them all together just to adapt to Minnesota soccer?
Well, you know, what I try to tell people is, you know, the cool thing about soccer, it's a global sport. So we recruit all over the world. You know, our league, we know you can only have 7 foreigners on our roster, but we've got a lot of people that moved here and now have their green cards. And we also have a lot of great young American players that are coming up, even from this community, a few of them. So it's a very competitive league. It's very difficult to find players. But once you find players, the game itself speaks for itself. You train like any other team. You bring everybody together and you make them cohesive and you try to win.
The universal language, I suppose.
Yep.